Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today, instead of being at work, what we're going to do is going to show you how we make our sample boards. So this isn't a standard sample board that we will be doing. It's quite a large one, to be honest, because the projects we are doing is a bespoke feature wall staircase that's going to be done in Microcement, but it's going to be a 3D effect. So we're having to create almost like a real life-size sample board so the client can see what it'll look like in their home, get a true representation of what it'll feel like, what it'll look like, and you just can't get that off a small sample board. So we've had to get a rather large MDF board with real cut-out flowers in the MDF that we're going to microcement and then stick to the board and somehow then transport in the van without damaging it to the client's house so they can see it and then make a decision if that's what they want. We're pretty confident it is what they want because they specified they want the microcement look, but there is always chances that you're doing these jobs for no outcome at the end of it, but you kind of have to take these risks and to get these kind of jobs, because the clients won't commit to the money the microcement costs if they're not happy with the look. So yeah, it's a risky one this weekend. Don't like working weekends in general anyway, but for jobs like this it is an exception, and yeah, come along for the ride. That were easy. I didn't look like an idiot all in there, but it's on. That's how tall that flower is. I mean, I can't really say it's probably the biggest flower in the world because I am probably not the biggest guy to compare with, but you're probably getting a true scale of how big this sample board is going to be. And the issue with a project like this, like you can see, these have actually been CNC'd. So a CNC is like a wood cutting machine where you put the you put your drawing into the machine and like I say, the machine cuts it out to detail. But if you'll see how detailed this, like how thin that is there. So we've got to be ever so careful that we don't actually break these while microcementing them, which brings its own challenge in itself. As you can see, one of them's already been damaged on the way over. We didn't do that, the guys that made this did that. But yeah, it just shows you it's a complex. I'm coming out with some really weird words today. Complexity, no, that's not even a word. You know what I mean. You get the vibe where I'm going here. Not the straightforward job, not the simplest. It's delicate. Think that'll be best for her. Yeah. Give thumbs up. Right, now we've got the layout all set up, and we're happy with how it's going to look. We are now going to take off these pieces and we'll start the process at the beginning with the microcement. Because it's only a sample board, we're not going to go through the full system because there's simply no need to. All we need to get this board to look like is the finished products, like the end look. We don't need to put the meshing on the multiple base coats. We don't need to keep sanding it down, perfecting it on the base level. We just need to make sure the top coat is the desired look that the client wants. So yes, we could do the meshing if we wanted to do the full system, but to be honest, it would just be a waste of time and material for the sake of this sample board. Like I said, all we are after is the end product, the end look. So we can get there without the meshing, because the meshing and the base coats are there for durability, to make it last the test of time, and the sample board simply doesn't need to be that. So yeah, let's get cracking. So what we're going to do is we're going to treat the board and the flowers as two separate jobs. So the aim is now we're going to get this primed with the grip primer from Luna. It does exactly what it says it do. It's a grip primer. So we'll put that on, that'll bond to the MDF, and then that means when we put the microcement top coats on, it's just got something to grip to. So yeah, we're gonna get this base coated, let it go off for 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll start applying the top coats, and then tomorrow we'll start with the flowers, and then we'll put it all together, because it'd be too fiddly to bring it as one job. So say we could grip prime this, then we could grip prime the flowers, and we could top coat this, top coat them, final top coat, but it'd be too messy. So we're gonna finish this, get this to a finish tonight, complete it, then tomorrow we can cover it up, and then we can use this almost like a workbench, cover it up, and then we can do the flowers on top without damaging that top coat. get the flowers finished, remove the covering, and then we'll stick it down and see what it looks like at the end.
Yeah, 10 out of 10, let's wait. I've been going big on the base out of state. Do research, check out the back of my plates. I rep so heavy, attack when I take. Still, I'm on that for the long.
So we're ready to start top coating. So for the top coats, the look the finish we are going for is Lunar Rock. So Rock is their one-part system. I tend to find, and I believe the Rock system is by far better than the two-part Hydro system for anything vertical. So walls, anything walls, where there's the two-part system, the Hydro is perfect for floors where there's going to be any sitting water, whereas this feature wall, there's going to be no sitting water because it's vertical and it's going to be in a staircase. So it's going to be by far easier and more cost effective for the customer to go for the Rock system, where all we do is mix it up in the tub and it's ready to go. It's shower proof, it's durable, and the finish looks aesthetically really pleasing, and it's so much easier as an installer to apply than the Hydro. The Hydro's thin, it can be messy. Really good products, by far the best Microcement out there on the market, but it's overkill for anything vertical, and it just doesn't make sense in this scenario. Certainly not on this project anyway. There's a time and place for it. I think solely for floors or where there's going to be any sitting water. Like I said, anything vertical, Rock Systems by far the best products I think all round. So yeah, that's the system I'm going to go for. So let's get this mixed up now, and yeah, let's get it cracking. Let's start to have a look what this is going to all look like. I mean, this is going to be fairly simple and quick, this process. I say it's only flat, so we just get it on the first coat. Then what we'll do is we'll give it about half an hour to dry, and then we'll go back over with the finish coat, the top coat, and we'll float it up and put the movement in. So if we were doing this normally in, say, someone's bathroom or anywhere like that, and they wanted the classic look, we would leave, once we put this first coat down, we would leave it overnight to then dry properly, sand it down smooth, then go back over it. But the designer and the client have specifically asked that it has quite a lot of texture in and quite a lot of movement, like choppy lines in it. So what we're going to do, we've decided to go with a wet on wet system. So we're going to put the first coat on, and instead of leaving it overnight to dry properly, we're going to let it just tack up a little bit, get a little bit tack so it's still a bit wet, then go straight back over it without even sanding it. And then that'll just put like another rough coat on top of a rough coat, which will hopefully bring out a much more textured, like choppy kind of look to it. We'll still float it up a little bit on the second coat, but not loads, to try and give it that rustic look. So yeah, let's crack on. Coated up now. Yeah, good first coat. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward, and especially this coat now, it's just a colour coat, so all we're trying to do is block out the MDF, and then the next coat we'll put more on again, probably a little bit thicker, and then we'll float it up, put the natural movements in, and yeah, that's as simple as it gets really. But yeah, half an hour now, let it tack up, and we'll be straight back to it. That's now all fully covered. So what we're going to take now, take a flat towel, we're simply just going to leave it about. So the primer's dried now, and it's time to get the first top coat on. Got a little help here, look at the camera. Are you saying hello?
Hello.
What's your name?
Chester.
And how old's Chester?
4.
And what are you going to do now?
Work. work with Daddy.
You're gonna work with Daddy? You're gonna show me skills?
Yeah.
You're not gonna touch the microcement though, are you? You're just gonna watch and you're gonna tell if Daddy's doing it right or not?
Yeah.
You're gonna tell if Daddy's doing it right?
Yeah.
So these are all now coated up. They're all drying nicely. So what we're gonna do is gonna go put little bits on the main faces now and just float them up. We don't need to float the sides up. There's no need on that. What we'll do is we'll just run his finger across it. Pretty much covered anyway. Right, so the two top coats are all done now. So what we're going to do is we're going to start sanding them back. Just a light quick sand over just to flatten get the high spots out and neaten some of the edges up, and then we're just going to stick them down and get it sealed, and yeah, it's done then. The bespoke, what would I say, the bespoke sample board of all sample boards will be done. I've wrapped in my lovely assistant to come and help here. That's Buddy the dog.
Roped.
Oh, sorry. Roped? I've roped you. Come and say hello.
Hi.
The camera can't see you.
I'll be in soon.
You're being certain. She's sat down, she's been lazy. We've just been out for pizza. Now we're coming to be really romantic and we're going to come sand some microcement down because that's how you treat a woman. True?
True.
True. Right, let's get sanding down. So we're finally here, guys. We're finally ready to get this onto the van and off to the client. Pretty nervous this morning. It's such a difficult one, is sample boards, because you put so much time and effort into these and you ultimately don't know if the client's going to like it or not. So you're then putting all this time and work in for someone else to judge it, and you don't know what their feelings or thoughts in it are. It's a bit of a weird one, sample boards, especially one of this size and how much effort has gone into him. I think it looks great, but you never know what the client's got in mind and what they're going to think of it until they see it. So yeah, let's get it moving. And yeah, this is a nervous point now, getting this into there without damaging it. And I think it looks great. I mean, like I say, it's just a concept at the beginning now. It's not the final design, but it's just to give the client some kind of feel and how it could look. So there is tweaks that we can make to it. There's certainly tweaks that I already know that we can make to make it better. But for a concept, I'm pretty happy with this. So let's get it into the van. And there we have it, sample board in the van. Thanks for watching, guys. I I never ever know how to sign these videos off because it gives me such an ick. Thank you guys, like, subscribe, comment, whatever it is. But yeah, thank you for watching. Any views, comments have been much appreciated, and on to the next one.